Seized on Saturday, Venezuela's president is now in a court in New York. Nicolas Maduro is accused of what's called narco-terrorism. In the last hour, he was airlifted from a detention center to his hearing. But China has demanded the US freeze the deposed leader, while President Trump suggested he has other countries in his sights.
Colombia is very sick too. Run by, it's not going to be doing it very long.
Also this lunchtime, no back to school. Hundreds are closed due to the snow. We'll have the latest. Altered image, how AI is making it easy to get a skinny jab online, even if you have a healthy BMI. A new year, a new manager for Manchester United as Ruben Amorim is sacked. And
this is the ITV Lunchtime News with Nina Hussain.
good afternoon. China and Iran are clear America has broken international law by capturing the president of Venezuela and are demanding he is freed. Instead, Nicolas Maduro is right now at a New York court accused of running what's being described as a narco-terrorist regime, a charge he denies. The two countries are allies of the deposed leader. So what has America's ally, the UK, said of its actions over the weekend? The Prime Minister said this morning Maduro was illegitimate but wouldn't be drawn on whether what the US did was illegal. In a moment, we'll get more from our UK political correspondent, Carl Dinnan. First, let's speak to our US correspondent, Dan Rivers, who is in New York. Dan, the world has seen a dramatic few days and a dramatic few hours. What's the latest?
Yes, good morning here from Manhattan, Nina. Nicolas Maduro and his wife, Celia Flores, arrived at the courthouse behind me in the last hour or so. They were transported from the Metropolitan Detention Center over in Brooklyn by helicopter onto the island of Manhattan and then taken in an armored vehicle into the back of the court building. They're due to appear here at noon, midday, in just over 3 hours. It will be probably a pretty brief hearing, essentially to enter a plea. There will be conditions for bail set. Highly unlikely he will be granted bail, and then a lawyer will be appointed for him and his wife, and a further appearance and trial schedule will be set. It's looking like it may take many months for this to come to trial, possibly even until next year. He's charged with a narco-terrorism, among other things, and the indictment that I had a read of this morning goes into quite considerable detail about the alleged trafficking operation at which the US government says he sat at the head of.
And Dan, on the president's return to Washington earlier, he seemed to suggest he has other countries in his sights.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, there is no sense of Donald Trump resiling from the comments about the US running Venezuela. He sort of doubled down on that and gone even further overnight as he was traveling back from Florida to Washington, D.C. in comments on Air Force One, basically issuing a pretty stark warning to other countries in both Latin America and to the north of the So some pretty extraordinary comments from the president, something we've got quite used to. The UN Security Council is meeting in an hour and a half to discuss Venezuela. One would imagine there will also be discussion of what's happening in Colombia potentially now, and also the fate of Greenland.
Dan Rivers, thank you very much. Thank you. More now on Sir Keir Starmer, given his reaction to the US seizing Maduro from Venezuela. The Prime Minister said international law needed to be the anchor for the future of the South American country, but wouldn't say whether the US had broken international law. Our political correspondent Carl Dinnan spoke to him earlier. What exactly did he say?
Well, we did talk about Greenland. We just heard President Trump talking about that. I'll tell you what he said about that in a moment. But yes, on international law, he still won't say whether or not he believes the United States has broken it. What he is saying this morning, a slightly new position from Keir Starmer, is that the important thing now is a peaceful transition of power in Venezuela. Now, you might very well say it's a bit late to be calling for that. But when I suggested that to the Prime Minister, he says he doesn't believe it is. And I think there is a message there that even the British Prime Minister, who's bending over backwards not to criticise him, doesn't think there should be any more violence in Venezuela. Here's what he said to me earlier.
The most important thing, to my mind, is the peaceful transition to democracy in Venezuela.
It's too late to call for that. There have been air raids and a president has been snatched by special forces.
No, it's not. No, we were calling for that before the weekend, and we continue to call for that because for so many people in Venezuela, that is what is so important. Now we need to stabilise the situation and get to that democracy as soon as reasonably practicable. International law is the framework, of course it is, and it'll be for the US to justify the actions that they have taken.
Now, when it comes to Greenland, I did say, well, if international law is so important and you're sticking by that, what about the threats that America is making to Greenland? The Prime Minister was much firmer on that. He said it is for the people of Greenland alone to determine their future.
Carl Dinnan, thank you very much. Thank you. Hundreds of schools have been shut on the day many children were set to start their new term after the Christmas break. It's because of snow. The lowest temperature overnight was minus 10.9 Celsius in Shap in Cumbria. Weather alerts are still in force across large parts of the country. Yellow warnings for snow and ice are stretching into tomorrow, meaning disruption will continue after today saw some flight cancellations and some problems on the trains. This was Talgareg in the west of Wales earlier. While in Whitby, thick snow continued to fall through the weekend as school closures came into effect. The worst affected part of the UK so far is northern Scotland. The Highlands has seen 34 centimetres of snow in Loch Glencaranach, and it's a similar picture in Aberdeenshire. STV's reporter Hayley Bomber joins me now from Aberdeen. What is the latest, Hayley, where you are?
Well, at the moment, it is cold and bright and clear for the moment, but we've had more than 30 centimetres snow here in Aberdeen and at lower levels over the past couple of days. And if you were up in the Cairngorms, they've seen more than half a metre of snow fall. So this has meant a really big, widespread gritting operation from the local authorities. They say around a third of the main roads remain gritted and treated, but many more remain closed just because of the continued snowfall that we have had. They've so far spread more than 1,000 tonnes worth of sand and salt onto the roads in an effort to keep them treated. But as a result of the drifting snow and the continued snow showers, many schools are shut, all in Aberdeenshire, Shetland, Orkney and the Western Isles, with dozens more right across Aberdeen and the Highlands as well. And we just heard from Aberdeen Airport in the last couple of minutes. They have actually closed their runway to about 5 o'clock this afternoon because of the continued snow. A bit of reprieve this afternoon, but those weather warnings still remain in force at least until tomorrow, and snow forecast for the rest of the week.
Hayley Bomber, thank you very much for that update. Thank you. Next, how easy is it to get a skinny jab online, even if you are a healthy weight? The answer, it seems, is very. An ITV News investigation has found some online pharmacies are breaking the rules by sending out the weight loss jabs with just one picture of the person trying to get them, despite it being easy to edit a picture to make yourself look overweight. Our reporter Cree Summer-Horton tested the system for herself here. The regulator says it's now taking action after Cree Summer's investigation. Head to our website. The address, as usual, itv.com/news. Manchester United has sacked its head coach and is on the hunt for a new manager. Ruben Amorim is out less than 24 hours after he suggested that he was not actually in charge. He leaves the club with the worst record of Sir Alex Ferguson's successors. Our North of England reporter Amy Welsh joins me now from Old Trafford. Amy, this all followed an explosive press conference after another disappointing result, this time against Leeds.
That's right. It was another draw for Manchester United against Leeds yesterday. The current club are currently 6th in the Premier League table after 20 games and after 14 months in charge. This morning, they confirmed that they have sacked their manager, Ruben Amorim. In a statement, they've said that they've reluctantly made the decision that it is the right time to make a change which will give the team the best opportunity of the highest possible Premier League finish. Well, sources at Manchester United have told ITV News that he did have the backing of the club, that they hadn't made enough progress during his time at the club. But those explosive comments at the press conference yesterday made it very clear that he was not happy.
I came here to be the manager of Manchester United, not to be the coach of Manchester United. And that is clear. I know that my name is not Tuchel, is not Conte, is not Mourinho, but I'm the manager of Manchester United. I'm not going to quit. I will do my job until other guy is coming here to replace me.
So clearly implying that he just wanted to be allowed to get on with the job, and also a hint of his plans to leave once his 18-month contract expired. But management have taken matters into their own hands. Clearly they don't want a repeat of 2025 when United suffered their worst ever Premier League season, finishing 15th with 42 points. Former midfielder Darren Fletcher has now been appointed as interim manager, and the hunt will now be on for a new manager to give this club the fresh start it so desperately needs.
Amy Welsh, thank you. A mother has told ITV how hearing the pop star Jessie Nelson open up about her baby's diagnosis was like listening to her own story. Yesterday, the former Little Mix singer revealed her twins have spinal muscular atrophy. She says it is unlikely they will ever be able to walk, but there is hope that by sharing her experience, other children could get crucial early help. Faye Barker reports.
Hey guys.
Singer Jessie Nelson about to share the difficult news her baby twins have been diagnosed with a rare genetic condition called spinal muscular atrophy.
Well, it does affect every muscle in the body, and if it's not treated in time, your baby's life expectancy will not make it past the age of 2.
Ocean Jade and Story Monroe were born prematurely last May. Jessie says she noticed problems with their development, and they've since had endless appointments before their diagnosis. But there is hope.
What can you see over there?
TV. That is you on TV.
And Edward Willis Hall is proof of that. Delighted to see himself on Good Morning Britain today, the 5-year-old's mum, Meg, spoke about the condition.
Auntie Keely, I don't feel well, my hips are not great.
Like Edward, around 48 children are born with SMA in the UK every year. With 3 different types of treatment now available here, Edward is proof it can work, as he's now on the cusp of starting school.
I truly believe that my girls will defy all the odds, and with the right help, they will fight this and, go on to do things that have never been done.
Jessie Nelson hopes speaking out will help other families spot signs of SMA, while charities are calling for more screening at birth. Faye Barker, ITV News.
Next, we're just hours away from soap history being made tonight. For the very first time, 2 of Britain's biggest shows, Coronation Street and Emmerdale, collide in a one-off crossover episode called Corriedale.
You need to get someone in now. We need an ambulance.
Of the collaboration, I'm joined now from the Coronation Street set by Corrie's Tanisha Gorey and Emmerdale's Chris Buzzen. Welcome to you both. Thanks for joining me this lunchtime ahead of this big moment in TV history. Tanisha, if I can start with you. For fans of their TV favourites, any kind of collaboration crossover is really exciting. What was your reaction when you first heard?
Hi, I think when I found out, it was just a privilege, I think it was such an honour. It's a slice of history, of soap history, and I was just super excited to get up there, get it filmed, knowing there'd be night shoots. Very exciting for the first one at least. Yeah. But no, it's really exciting.
Chris, you are, of course, a familiar face on the cobbles. We're used to seeing you in front of the Rovers' return, but you're now in Emmerdale. Is it true that you begged the producer to be in this collaboration?
Yeah, I'm very at home on the cobbles here. Well, it was just a text message, really, saying I've got to be in this. Please put me in it, because I think we should. I think the audiences might like the fact that maybe there is a nod to the fact that I used to be in Coronation Street. So we did that for the fans.
Who's going to give me the gossip? I'll ask you first, Tanisha. What was the rivalry like on set between the two sets of actors?
You know, I think I always describe it as a sister relationship. I feel like there's love there, and then there's a bit of hate, and then there's back to love again. Frenemies. And I love it. I think it's funny because all of our robes that we wear, we're all in red, and Emmerdale all have blue. So when we stepped onto set, you did already feel the sort of...
You could identify us.
Yeah, it was great. But, you know, it was... I love it. We have so much love for each other as well. Like, we always see each other at awards, and naturally, if we don't win, we want them to win. So it's that
right.
Yeah.
Is that really true, Chris?
It absolutely is true. And as I said, I used to work here on the cobbles. So, yeah, we do the same job, just in different locations. Yeah. And then they will collide tonight for this spectacular...
How important is it, in terms of the narrative, that the location was neutral? It's between the two areas.
I'm not sure that it was neutral, wasn't it? We didn't see the Coronation Street cast on the Emmerdale set, or vice versa. That might have been a bit odd. You never know. We may go there in the future. But it's a big spectacular tonight. And what I should mention also is that the two episodes that are on tonight, they've got little recaps at the beginning of them. Ooh. So if you can't binge watch the episodes in the build-up, you need to watch these before you watch Corriedale tonight.
And what can people expect? For a start, which titles are we going to hear at 8 o'clock, Tanisha? Do you know?
Oh, I don't. I think it's got its own, hasn't it?
Yeah, I've heard a little mashup of the two title tracks mixed together.
Oh yeah, I think we have heard that. I just zone out. No, we've got a little bit of something original, obviously, to go down with the soap history that's happening tonight.
Well, good luck to you both. I hope you're having a watching party tonight with Team Red and Team Blue. Chris and Tanisha, thank you very much for joining me this lunchtime. Thank you. And you can watch tonight's special one-off hour-long Corriedale episode. It's on tonight at 8 o'clock on ITV1, ITVX and STV. Finally, this lunchtime, he waited 12 years for his first century down under now. Joe Root has made it 2 in 4 matches.
That's the one. Root has it. Another 100 on Australian soil.
He was a cut above the rest of his teammates, breezing through the second morning of his 5th and final Ashes test. He managed 160 to help England to a total of 384. It marked England's highest score of the troubled tour. Well, that's all from me. Mary will be here with the latest on the evening news at 6:30. Bye-bye.